Alright, so for the spirit of the Ghostrick deck, you may be noticing these two Mezukis in here, and I'll explain those later after I read off all the cards. So we have one Hino Gaka Tashuchi, I don't know how to say his name, one Dark Dust Spirit, one Fengu Nog, wow, that's a crazy name, double Mezuki, one Rakasha, one Aratama, triple Nigatama, triple Ghostrick Jingishi, one Ghostrick Frost, triple Ghostrick Lantern, triple Ghostrick Spectre, double Kinkabyuch, I don't think that's how you say that, one Ghostrick Mary, one Allure Darkness, one Dark Hole, double Monster Reincarnation, triple Recurring Nightmare, triple Pot of Duality, double Regeki Break, double Phoenix Wind Blast, double Breakthrough Skill. The extra deck, Gemnite Pearl, Black Ship of Corn, Silent Honor Arc Knight, Noble Swarm Beelzebub, the Symphony de Jin, Gaga Cowboy, Ghostrick Alucard, triple Ghostrick Dullahan, one Gold Rat, one Galaxy Queen, one Utopia Roots, and double Slacker Magician. And for the side deck I have Treeborn Frog and Karma Cut, because I was just testing out Karma Cut and I like to switch it in for Wing Blast and Regeki Break every once in a while. And Treeborn Frog just synergizes with this deck very well. So anyway, the Mezuki is in here because this deck has ridiculous hand advantage and lots of ways to discard cards from your hand with Monster Reincarnation, Regeki, and Phoenix Wind Blast. So you have 6 cards that allow you to discard cards from your hand, and usually this is the main target for that, or it's just for normal summon because he's a level 4 monster with a pretty decent attack, you know, just in case you go for. Actually, it doesn't work with this one. It's mainly in here to use its effect, where when it's in the grave, you can use its effect to special summon out Ghostrick Jingishi. And if you really don't want to use Mezuki, you don't have to. It was just something I was trying out that actually worked. Yeah, that actually worked, because Jingishi's awesome. It allows you to go +1, and Mezuki allows you to special summon out an extra Jingishi from the grave, flip him face down, and just wait for your next turn to flip him up, or distribute him immediately. Either way, it allows you to get out Jingishi, because it's a zombie-type monster that you'll have in your hand pretty often because you get him out early. With Ghostrick Mary, you're just drawn to him, or you just grab him somehow, because the whole deck revolves around this card pretty much. And you also have Alucard, which you don't ever go into. It's just in here just in case you have 2 Jingishis on the field. What this deck revolves around, though, are the spirit monsters. The Ghostricks are just the core of it, because spirit monsters return to your hand at the end of your turn. One of the main things to do with spirit monsters is, since they return to your hand at the end of your turn, use creature swap and flip them to your opponent, but creature swap isn't fast enough, and this deck is not half bad. It also gives you hand advantage like crazy, which allows you to run cards like Phoenix Wind Blast, Monster Reincarnations outside of a Lightsworn deck, or outside of a Dragon Roller deck, because the hand advantage is crazy, because the cards are always returning into your hand at the end of the turn. So basically you will be discarding spirit monsters every once in a while to activate these cards' effects, because your hand will go past the 6 card limit every now and then. This card I don't really like all that much. I just put him in here because I was just summoning these 2 out non-stop and I had too many monsters on the field, or I didn't want to destroy my monsters with Dark Dust Spirit. And since you can search out cards with Aratama, I thought, why not? I'll try it out. And I'm still not a big fan of it. Probably switch it out for... I already have too much tributes for this deck. This deck works surprisingly well, even though I just kind of threw it together. It's just basically a combination of spirits and Ghostricks. The main drawback of spirits is that they return to your hand at the end of the turn, which you usually bypass by giving it to your opponent with creature swap. But this one, it's mainly all about Ghostricks, because Ghostricks special summon themselves during your opponent's turn, and these cards normal summon during your turn, so they synergize together very well. It's like Ghostricks were made for spirit monsters, because Rakasha, since you don't special summon rarely, like at all, on your turn. That's why you can run Pot of Duality and Rakasha to bounce cards back to your opponent's hand. This card right here is also a 1 card, like, for Dark Dust Spirit, or Fengara. Because you normal summon him, then you can tribute him with Fengara or Dark Dust Spirit and draw a card. So this card is amazing. You can also go for XYZ summons, you know, like normal summon this card out, normal summon an Aratama. Uses the fact to search a card, mainly Kinka Booyah, because this card is great for Ghostrick Duellahan, because Duellahan is amazing, and this card allows you to bring out Duellahan pretty consistently. And once, if this card is sent to the graveyard while you control a spirit monster, even if it's, you know, attached to one of your XYZ materials, just as long as it's sent there while you control a spirit monster, you'll be able to draw a card. So just wait until your next turn, summon out a spirit monster, detach to activate one of their effects, and as long as you have a spirit monster face up, you'll be able to draw a card. And you have lots of spirit monsters in your deck, and you mainly use your normal summon for spirit monsters, or to set a Jingishi, or you can special summon Jingishi with Mezuki. And Recur Nightmare, this card, it's so good every time you draw it, because you always want to get Ghostrick, Lantern, and Spectre in your hand. Prioritize these two cards over Ghostrick, Frost, and Mary. If you're using Pot of Duality, you need to choose one, because you want these cards in the grave as fast as possible for Recurrent Nightmare. Also, whenever your Jingishi is searching out, same thing, add in Lanterns and Spectres before Frost and Mary, because Frost is really good for stopping cards that have like lingering effects. It'll flip down an Ophion so that you can special summon out. Actually, you don't special summon out any monsters over level 5, but that's just an example. It can flip down like an Ophion or some crazy XYZ monster with a spell speed 2 effect like Pylades. I think I said that wrong, right? Pylades. Or Gorgonic Guardian. You can flip that down. You won't be able to activate its spell speed 2 effect on its next turn. It's kind of like a Book of Moon. It's really good. But it doesn't. It would be perfect if it had 0 defense. But it has 100, so meh. 1 is fine. Ghostrick Duellahan is amazing. You can pretty much run over any monster that has less than 2400 attack, and he has a spell speed 2 effect, so if you have 2 of these guys on the field, it increases the amount you can decrease your opponent's monster's attack by. And when he's destroyed, you get to add one of your Ghostricks back to your hand. It doesn't matter which one it is, just as long as it's a Ghostrick, so you can add back your other Duellahans if you wanted to. He also has 0 defense, which means Recur Nightmare can return him to your extra deck, since you'll be using Ghostrick Duellahan a lot. Let's see, I think I covered everything. Fengura to destroy all your opponent's spell and trap cards. This card's great. Dark Dust Spirit to destroy all monsters in the field. And this guy in case you just have too many monsters on the field. Or if you get unlucky enough to draw him in your hand, you can ditch him with one of your 6 discard cards. Yeah, that's it.